Okay, so welcome back again, and this is the Chipmaster, and in this video I will be repairing a Dell, sorry, a Dell inspiron here, right? So I got it from a tech, and he said that it's not turning on, right? So I'm gonna see what I can do. Right. So I'm gonna take it apart now. Well, first let me plug in the charger. Alright, so plug it in the charger now, and I'm pressing the switch, as you can see, and there's nothing. Nothing there. It's not turning on. Oh, the battery is out already. Okay, so battery is out. Sorry. Oh, this has a lot of screws. This one is a bit old. Oh, that's not. This hard drive is not. This hard drive is two-side taped down inside of this thing. Alright, that's a hinge problem there. See if I can take out this SSD drive. I think it's two-side tape down inside of this, the chassis here. Yes, here it is. That's the tape right there. So a long time I haven't been disassembled one of these, where you have to take out the keyboard. Most laptops now you have to remove the back cover and everything is exposed. Screws everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so I'm almost at the basically at the motherboard now, just removing some screw here is for the hinge there. Oh, the DC jack is on this side. I don't like taking apart these laptops because the screw hole hinge support always break out. Okay. All right, so here's the board. All right, so this is a, I didn't check, need to check the, what architecture is this? Platform rather. Let me see. This is a most likely an NVIDIA graphic card. All right. Whoa. Oh, this is a 5th gen CPU. ULT CPU, a 5th generation. Right, this is a 5th generation. And this is called the Broadwell CPU. Yeah, the Broadwells. All right, this was released in 2013, early 2013. All right, so this is the Broadwell CPU, as you can see here. So I'm going to examine the board for any visual inspection, for any burn, any liquid damage, any form of liquid intake on the board. All right, just moving it around, as you can see. And it's good on this side so far. Alright, so here we have the NVIDIA graphic card and the VRAMs. That's Hynix VRAM. Alright, looking in this area here, and I don't see anything. Let's check the next side of the board. Under the plastic here, all good, as you can see. All good, all good. Alright, down here is all good also. No burn, no liquid intake on this side. Right to the DC jack here, it's all good. Down this side here in the standby area here, it's all good. So I don't see any liquid for any form of liquid intake on the board. Okay, so I'm going to do some checks on the multimeter here, as you can see. I think I got some messages came in my phone. Oh no, it's just an email. Yeah, so I'm in the resistance checking now, as you can see here. It's lean, and I just want to get it straight. Okay, so I'm first gonna do some resistance checking. All right, I believe so. This is 3 and 5 volts here. So let's check. All right, 3 and 3. That's 3 or 5. So 3 volt and 5 volt is okay, as you can see. This should be the RAM supply, and that's also good. This is the common point supply, 13 volts. Right, this board uses 13 volts, most likely not 19 volts. So this uses a PWM step down common point power supply. All right, so that's 426, so that's good. I think most likely this board uses 13 volts instead of 19 volts. This is the CPU core. Very good. So the CPU core supply is okay. VCC IO. Right, this is the PCH, internal PCH power supply inside of the ULT CPU. Right, so this is a Intel low power CPU. Right, so CPU and PCH in one package. Right, and this is the Broadwell CPU, which is the 5th generation CPU of the low powered core series CPU. Right, this is most likely an i5 CPU, I believe. All right, so the common point is good, the standby is good, RAM supply is good, CPU core is good. Now the graphics card, and I get 16, and that's good. Right, this is most likely for the video memory. I get 148, that's good. Right, this is the common point also. Right, that's good. Right, this is the charging section, and that's also good. So all the supplies reading are good so far. All right, so I'm going to plug power to the board now. And I'm not taking any current, as you can see there. All right, the current consumption there on the DC power supply, it's not taking any current, as you can see. All right, so I'm gonna check if I'm getting 12 volts or 13 volts. All right, I was trying to see if I could get the glare out of the screen. That glare there, yeah, I want to get that glare out of that part there up here. There's some glare here. There we go. All right, so 3 volt and 5 volt is there. I'm not getting 3 volt, and I'm not getting 5 volts. Am I getting 13 volts? No 13 volts. Not getting 13 volts. Not getting 13 volts. Let's check out the DC jack input. Sorry, here. And I'm not getting any voltage, so let me check if I'm getting it directly from my DC jack, my charger here. Oh, my charger, something is wrong with my charger. Okay, so my charger, the wire, the ground wire got unplugged in the socket, so I have to rejoin it back again. Let's try again. Alright, so let's see if I get in 19 volts, 20 volts. Yes, 20 volts is there now. Let's check if we're getting standby 3 and 5. Yes, I get 5 volts there. And I get 3.2 volts there. That's the power button there. Is this the power switch? Let me confirm with the palm rest. Yes, it is the power switch. So I'm pressing it now, but I'm not taking any ampere, as you can see. Let me pause. Okay, so as I added the DC power supply to the feed. So I'm pressing the switch, as you can see, I'm not getting any current there. Alright, so there, as you can see, there's no jump, no fluctuation of the current there, even though I'm pressing the switch. Right, and I have 3 volt and I have 5 volt and I have some standby rails there. So let's check if the switch is working. So I have if the closer I get, I can get rid of that glare. Alright, so the switch should have 3 volts on one side. Alright, so there it is. I'm pressing it now, it will go to 0 volts, yeah? So the switch is going to 0 volts and I release it, it is restored. I press again, the switch goes to 0 volts. So the switch is working. But there is no response. So this is a no trigger fault. Right, so you call this a no trigger because the board is not triggering. So first we need to check some working conditions. Right, so let me remove the RTC battery first. Before I remove the RTC battery, let me remove the main power. Alright, so I'm going to check if the RTC section is working. So this is the RTC power and I have 1.2 volts and that's too low. Alright, so this won't be able to have enough power to power the RTC crystal. So I'm just looking, let me go under the microscope. I didn't add power. Alright, so now under the microscope, so I'm now looking for the RTC crystal. Alright, this is the 24 megahertz crystal for the main clock. Alright, this is the 24 megahertz crystal, I can see. It has 24, P24. That's the 24 megahertz. That's not what I'm looking for. Let me go back to the back side, the next side of the board. Here it is. So this is the main RTC crystal, 32.768 kilohertz crystal. And let me see if I get voltage. I get 0.2 volts on one side and I get 0.27 voltage. Let me see the other side. 0.2, 0.27. The voltage are the same. That's abnormal. I'm going to remove the RTC battery. It's a bit tight inside the socket there. Again, one more time. It's out now finally. I'm gonna plug another RTC battery in there. I believe this one should work. Let me see. All right, here's the RTC connection. 1.9, that's a bit too low. I think I have I'll find a better one. Should have another one. Let me see this one. .8 volts, very good. All right, so let's go back to the crystal for the RTC. Oops, this is it's getting slack here. I have 3.5, 0.35, and the next side I have 0.2. So this is working now. So the voltage on both sides should not be the same. Very good. 0.35 on one side and the other side 0.29. So this is working now. All right, so let me see if I can trigger the board. Yes, it's on. As you can see, I'm getting 680 milliamp. So the RTC circuit was jammed. As you can see there. All right, so it was caused by that low RTC battery there, right? So by replacing the battery with another one that has sufficient voltage, then it works. Remember, the RTC section should not have a voltage below 2.4 volts. That's the threshold. Anything below 2.4 volts is not a valid RTC power supply, right? So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to assemble back this unit. Right, so I'm going to just add back the heat sink here. All right, so now add the keyboard. Okay, so let's see what we get now. Okay, so it's not turning on by itself. As you can see, the current is not moving any jumping, so that means the RTC section is charged. So only I should turn it on. As you can see, I got 60, 70, 80 milliamp, right? And it's jumping, and it should do a sequence of starting, booting up, shutting down, powering on to reset the SRTC reset section inside of the PCH. And then the display should be there. As you can see, there it is. All right, so it's now a done job. All right, so it said that it's invalid time of day, so we need to reset back the time and date. Oh, let's press C to continue. We can set that back at another later time. All right, so saying that my adapter tip here, the DS2505 chip, I will have to replace it inside of the head of the charger there, so it won't charge the battery. Alright, so I have to turn off this option inside of the BIOS. I see it's not passing. Let me get the original charger. Alright, so I now have the original OEM charger. That message should go away. There we go. So now it's booting up, and that's it. Alright, so the RTC section inside of the CPU is very important. If there is any of the working conditions of the CPU are abnormal, are not met, then you'll get this fault. No trigger, so you press the switch, no response. Right, so you should first check your RTC working conditions. If all the working conditions of the RTC section is intact, then you need to check if the PCH working conditions is okay, which is about 11 working conditions for these types of CPU. Right, so we have RTC reset, VCC RTC, RTC reset, SRTC reset, 32.768 kilohertz. Right, we have VCC DSW, D power OK, RSM reset, and VCC source 3.3 volts, right? And the power button signal, right? And SLP source. So those are the 11 working conditions that you should check for a no trigger fault for the Intel series 5th generation, the core series of this ULT series of the low power CPU. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something, which is a basic repair, right? And this is the steps that you should take in order to repair a no trigger fault. Alright, so I'll see you again in another video when I will repair something for you. Okay, bye.